Okay, good morning everyone, and welcome to our Winter Warmers webinar. Bit of a tongue twister. I'm just going to run through a few housekeeping things before we get started. So if you would like to use live captions, they're enabled. You just need to select Show Captions at the bottom of your screen. We will be recording the webinar and we'll be sharing it on the Magic Breakfast YouTube channel in the next few days. So if any of your colleagues aren't able to make it, or you need to leave partway through, we will share the recording via an email. There will be time at the end for questions, so please do submit your questions. Along the bottom of the screen, you can see the Q&A panel and you'll be able to add questions in there and we'll answer them at the end. Okay, so time for introductions. I'm Lucy Freer. I'm an engagement partner in London, and my role is to support schools to help you offer a healthy breakfast to children without any barriers or stigma. And I also run engagement events, school assemblies and staff sessions to get your whole school community on board with why it's important to have a healthy breakfast every day. Casper, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Casper Way, so I'm Corporate Partnerships Manager at Magic Breakfast, and I look after our relationship with Quaker.
And hi everyone, I'm Laura Colgan, Senior Corporate Partnerships Manager at Magic Breakfast, and I look after our relationship with Heinz. The aim of today's session will be to equip you with everything you need to ensure that children and young people at your school can start their day with a bowl of something warm and nourishing this winter. So over to you, Casper.
Brilliant. So in terms of which warm foods do we offer? So as you may know, Magic Breakfast offers a range of different breakfast foods that can be served warm. So that includes Heinz, no added sugar beans, as well as a variety of Quaker products, including traditional oats, Oats So Simple Original, and flavored Oats So Simple sachets as well, such as golden syrup, strawberry, and apple flavors. And also just to mention that all of these products are well within the England and Scotland school food standards, with lower volumes of sugar and higher in fibre than is required. So none of these products are high in fat, sugar, or salt.
So why is it important that we're able to offer a warm breakfast in schools at the start of the day? Well, the winter season brings higher incidence of colds and flu, so prioritising health is absolutely key. For the most vulnerable children and young people across our network of partner schools, a Magic Breakfast might be the only warm meal they eat all day. We know from our data and from speaking to our partner schools that uptake of warm breakfast foods increases during the cold months, so it's important that we make sure the right foods are available. And finally, by including porridge and beans in our provision, we can ensure that our breakfast offering is nutritionally diverse. The nutritional benefits of beans and oats are vast and varied, as you can see here. Both beans and oats are high in fibre and protein and low in fat and sugars. They provide a range of essential vitamins that support energy production, immune function, and thyroid health, and they're both slow-release carbohydrates, which help to fuel children throughout the day. This really is even more important during these colder months. In addition, a portion of beans counts as one of your 5 a day, and provides a fifth of a teenage girl's daily protein needs and a third of her fibre needs. As for oats, they are 100% whole grain, which means they're full of fibre and nutrients. Plus, oats are a good source of minerals like manganese, phosphorus, and magnesium, which are great for things like growth, energy production, and bone and heart health.
So we're really pleased to share that in some of our schools, children and young people absolutely love beans and porridge, making up some of the most popular choices each morning. So in our most recent monitoring and measuring survey from across our network of schools, this pointed to some really interesting findings. So you can see here from some of the quotes. So there's one from a pupil in one of our schools that speaks to how important the variety is. As they say, offering a variety of choices is important. Offering a hot breakfast is really helpful in the winter months and fills tummies for longer. And we noted that when schools were asked which improvements would you like to make to your breakfast provision, in the top 3 asks, so across 232 schools, was to actually increase the variety of options. And many of these called for hot foods specifically. So hopefully this, 1 session, 1 session 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 1
We understand that one of the potential barriers to you adding warm breakfast foods to your provision is the additional preparation time and resource needed in heating them up. So we've gathered intel from lots of our partner schools around how they're navigating this, which we're delighted to share with you today. For heating porridge oats on the hob, Quaker's recommended recipe involves mixing 4 parts of Quaker rolled oats with 3 parts milk or water, bring to the boil, and then simmer and stir with a spoon until the oats are thick and creamy. Quaker's handy Oats So Simple sachets are also great for preparing individual portions of porridge in the microwave. They take just 2 minutes, and exact instructions are printed on the back of every sachet. So this is a great option for encouraging older or more independent children and young people to prepare their own breakfast. When it comes to beans, many schools heat them in a microwave, usually several cans at a time, in a large microwave-safe bowl. Others use a slow cooker, which can both cook the beans as well as keep them warm for long periods. And in 2023, 33 schools received a branded Heinz beans kettle, which you can see pictured here, which is designed to keep large amounts of beans warm for long periods of time. And we had really positive feedback from schools that received these. So we're hoping that we might be able to provide more of these, throughout the course of this year. From speaking to our partner schools, we know that warm breakfasts can be made available in all breakfast settings, including breakfast clubs, grab and go, and classroom settings. There's also a huge opportunity in secondary schools to consider whether students can be more autonomous in their breakfast provision. For example, is there scope for them to be given access to microwaves and toasters so that they can heat up their own breakfasts and address potential issues around staffing? We have some great case studies from 2 of our brilliant partner schools that we hope will inspire you. But first, we thought we'd share some ideas to help you think about how you can vary your provision to keep your students excited, interested, and perhaps encourage them to try something new, starting with beans. As you can see, it's more about varying the preparation and presentation when it comes to beans. There's the classic beans on toast, and you could add cheese if this is an option for your school. Alternatively, you could cut toast into soldiers and encourage children to dip them into their beans. Then there's beans on crumpets or bagels, and you could even make beans toasties if you have access to a toasty machine, as you can see in the photo at the top right hand of the screen.
So in terms of porridge and oats recipe suggestions, we're already lucky enough to get a range of different flavors from Quaker in the Oats So Simple sachet range. So you can see some of the products there. So this is from golden syrup to strawberry, and we've previously had apple as well. So it's important to note that there's plenty of flavor to begin with right away, and we're excited to track what else they develop too. But why stop there? There's also well over 100 recipes on Quaker's website. So this could be something as simple as adding cinnamon. And we'll hear a little bit about a school that has had lots of success with this in a moment too. Or you could even be more adventurous. Is there fruit available that you could be using as toppings? This could be a great way to actually engage children in creating their own breakfast as well as getting one more of their 5 a day. And we've also heard from a secondary school that is keen to experiment with overnight oats as well. So there's lots of ideas there on Quaker's website too. So this can include using frozen fruit, which can be a bit more affordable and easier to store. So we'd really encourage you to experiment with what goes down well within your breakfast provision, and let us know how you get on. So looking at one example here, we heard from a chief operating officer at one of our secondary partner schools who told us all about how they make porridge available in their school. So it was really inspiring to hear about the range of aspects they had experimented with to uplift their breakfast provision. So this included making breakfast available mid-morning to help reaching older children who may be resistant to arriving to school earlier. And as well as that, they had staff hand out grab-and-go pots. So as children made their way into registration, this was made available. So you can see that in the photos here. They've even experimented with putting cinnamon in the porridge. So our contact at the school had said this had gone down really well with the pupils. And we thought it was also really interesting to hear this senior colleague make the point about the importance of having hot provision in order to meet the preferences of children from across a range of different demographics.
The next case study is from one of our wonderful primary partner schools. So in this case study, there's a member of staff who stands at the entrance of the school with a trolley each morning. Then warm beans that have been heated in a microwave are decanted into paper pots with wooden spoons that you can see in the photos here. Beans are then offered alongside bagels and crumpets, etc. And this starts from about 8:40 a.m. and is offered throughout the school. So from nursery through to year 6, so ages 3 to 11. Children will often eat the breakfast right there and then, but we're told that others will take it to their classrooms. And there are recycling bins in all classrooms for empty pots and spoons. So washing up is quick and minimal. When we asked the school, what has been the impact of beans provision on children in your school? The head teacher said that they had definitely noticed a positive impact, especially for families who don't have breakfast at home. She had also seen a massive difference in pupils' concentration in class, especially the more vulnerable children.
So what to do when resource is limited? So we know that budgets and resources can vary from school to school. So we wanted to recap by sharing a few tips that some of our partner schools have shared with us. So firstly, you could encourage your students to get involved in preparing the breakfast and or washing up afterwards. So this can be a great way to instill useful skills whilst also taking some pressure off of staffing. As we've already mentioned, there's also the opportunity to empower older children and teenagers to prepare their own warm breakfast by giving them access to microwaves, toasters, or any other equipment that you might have your hands on. And several schools have also told us that they've had great success with offering warm breakfast on limited mornings. So it could be on Mondays or Fridays to bookend the weekend, and that can take the pressure off of the breakfast club coordinators on other days of the week as well, but still encourage breakfast club attendance around the weekend.
If you're interested in including warm breakfast foods as part of your provision, but you haven't yet tried and aren't sure where to start, we'd encourage you to take the advice of the deputy head teacher from one of our schools who said to me, until you've tried it and offered a warm breakfast, you won't know. But if we could serve a warm breakfast every day, we would. Magic Breakfast service delivery team are here to support you, so if in doubt, please reach out to your engagement partner and they will be happy to help. You could do a trial to see how popular a warm breakfast offering would be among your students and test which preparation methods work for you. And don't feel like you have to commit to serving a warm breakfast every day if this feels overwhelming. Many of our partner schools have seen huge success and impact by offering beans and or porridge only on certain days of the week. So for example, warm Wednesdays, beanie Fridays, or porridge Mondays. You could even try varying your breakfast menu throughout the week to add an element of interest and variety for children and young people on different days. For example, you could do traditional oats one day, then beans on toast the next, overnight oats the following day, beans toasties the next, etc.
So if this webinar has encouraged you to try offering beans or porridge for the first time, or perhaps you already do provide warm breakfast to your pupils, but you've been inspired to try something a bit different, then we'd love to hear how you get on. Please do share with us your success stories, tips, and suggestions so that we can continue building our resources and share these with our other partner schools too. We're working directly with Heinz and Quaker to find ways to support you to make breakfast available so that all hungry children and young people at the start of their day can access a warm breakfast. So some of you may have received a beans kettle or a Heinz equipment grant over the last year, and we hope that these will have been really helpful. And the great news is that both Heinz and Quaker are keen to continue our support to partner schools to provide beans and porridge oats to Magic Breakfast partner schools however they can. So keep your eyes peeled for more on this over the coming months. Brilliant. So thank you for listening. That's the end of our presentation. We'd love to hear from you now. So please do ask any questions that you may have. And I'll hand over to Lucy Freer, our engagement partner for London, who's going to help us chair the Q&A.
Thank you, Caspar. For anyone watching the recording back, please contact your EP for the latest answers to these questions, as it might not be exactly the same. Okay, we've got a few questions in the Q&A box. If anyone else wants to pop any questions in there, please do. It's just at the bottom of your screen. So first one, Laura. So someone's asked, do I need to add beans to my weekly order, or could it be monthly or termly?
Thanks, Lucy. Yes, you can put beans on your order however suits you. So weekly, monthly, termly, whichever suits. Can you verify that for me, Lucy, just to be sure?
Yeah, yes, you can. Yes, the beans, currently they are standard size can of beans, so they're 465-gram can of beans, but they come in a case of 24. So actually lots of the schools that I support, obviously are not going to use 24 cans of beans a week. So yes, sometimes they have it fortnightly or monthly, or termly. So yeah, do liaise with your engagement partner and work out how often you want to receive beans or porridge. Another question that we've got. So for porridge, can I get a grant for any additional bowls and spoons I might need?
So actually, Lucy, I think you might be in a better position to speak about the grants, just to double check that I'm right.
Yeah, so we do have equipment grants available for any essential equipment that you might need to run your breakfast provision, to make sure that you can extend the range of food that you're offering or perhaps reach more children. So yeah, again, please liaise with your engagement partner, and they can speak with you about the equipment grants that could be for bowls or spoons, or if you wanted to do porridge and beans, it could be a slow cooker to help you warm it up. Great. Another quick question. So, I'm wondering if how the trial of eggs went and if they will become available. That's a great question. Laura, or is that Casper?
So that's
Do you know?
Sorry.
I can try and answer the best I can, but we actually have another colleague who looks after a relationship with an egg supplier. But my understanding is that our trial has gone really well, and we're hoping to extend that soon and make that available. So I think watch this space and speak to your engagement partner about the latest updates. But I think hopefully good news on the way soon.
Oh, it'd be a brilliant breakfast. Maybe on a Friday, eggs and beans would be great. Another question. So, is it possible to get an updated list of items that are available through Magic Breakfast? Absolutely. On our Magic menu, we've got a whole range of bakery, cereal, porridges, and beans available. So, if you get in touch with your engagement partner, and they'll be able to send you through our latest kind of ingredients and allergens list, which has got all of our products, and then they can share with you the Magic menu of how you go about either adding something to your order or perhaps changing the quantities. Another quick question is jam in the pipeline? Oh, a good bit of jam on some bagels or some toast. Laura or Casper, I don't know if you know if any of our partners are thinking about supplying us with jam.
I'm not sure at the moment. I know that the sort of sticky thing about jam is that generally it doesn't comply with school food standards, which is something that we have to be wary of. I know that our new business team are always seeking new partners to enhance and diversify our breakfast offering. And your engagement partner will have the latest information on that. So the short answer is, I don't know at the moment. Your engagement partner will know more, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any jam in the pipeline, as sticky as that might be at the time being. Casper, do you have anything to add on that?
No, nothing to add on that one.
No, so yeah, I guess a regular jam has probably got too much sugar in to meet school food standards, but I know some of my schools buy themselves low sugar jam, and they do that a couple of times a week, which would mean that it does still meet school food standards, if that helps. Another question in, so will you be able to offer gluten-free options in the future?
So I can respond to this one. So I think that's a really interesting question. I've just done a quick Google to see which gluten-free products that Quake have, and can see that they have a gluten-free Oat So Simple sachet. So yeah, that's really nice to have your feedback. We can definitely sort of take that to them and see if that's an option. I'm not so sure about how that fits in with beans and toast and things.
I'm just going to double check, but I think Heinz beans are gluten-free. Yes, Heinz beans are gluten-free, and those are the ones that we offer. If you're talking specifically about bakery goods, that is something that I will take forward and bring to the relevant teams and see if it's something that we can consider going forward as well. Currently, I couldn't really answer that question, but I think it's something that we definitely want to think about. So thank you for raising that.
Yeah, we've also got one cereal that's gluten-free. So we do gluten-free cornflakes, which again, you could liaise with your with our logistics team or your engagement partner to get added onto your order if you've got gluten-free students. Another question. So I'm in a SEND setting and our pupils won't accept any porridge like foods, but will eat rice. Oh, okay, that's tricky. So yeah, we don't provide rice at the moment, I'm afraid. That's difficult.
Actually, Lucy, so I might be able to add a bit to that as well. So yeah, really interesting to hear how these different products sort of work in different schools. I did actually hear a story recently that we're going to write up a case study about and hopefully share with you. A school that was using oats to make waffles. So they were actually preparing these and then making those available. So obviously waffles have quite a different texture. And so that might be something that you would like to explore perhaps with your pupils, or I think we spoke about overnight oats or flapjacks. There's lots of different things that you can prepare, use oats to prepare with. So that could be something to explore too.
I've never heard of oaty waffles before, but I'm keen to get the recipe as well.
Yes, they sound amazing. I think it's a really good flag as well, and something that we can think about a bit more for future webinars like this to kind of pay particular attention to SEND schools, because I know that texture can be an issue. So thank you for raising that, and we'll think about that going forward.
Yeah, thank you. I think that is all of our questions that have come in. Obviously, if anyone has any further questions after this, please do get in touch with your engagement partner and ask them. They'll be more than happy to help. But first of all, I just want to say thank you, Laura and Caspar, for all your insights and benefits of offering beans and porridge at breakfast time. As I said, we will be sharing the recording and the slides in the next week. So please do share them with colleagues if that would help them. And thanks to everyone for your time this morning. We hope you found it informative and helpful. And any further questions, please do contact your engagement partner. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Brilliant. Thanks all.